Hey everyone, I'm Amanda and welcome to this mini art journal flip through. You may know me as Amanda's Work. I share a lot of my stuff on Instagram and TikTok, so you may have seen these journals before, but this is kind of the one place where you're going to get a full tour of all of these journals, everything that's in it. And also I just get to talk about them some more, so that's why I love doing these flip through videos. So let's get right into it. These journals here, I buy them off of Amazon. These are actually the last 3 in this pack that I've bought, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna repurchase these exact journals. I do like the size of them. I love working in mini journals, but I'm just thinking like I want something different. I've used like 24 of these journals and I do really love them, but I think I just want to change things up a little bit. So we'll see. I don't know. I might just buy them again. Well, for the price of them, they're so worth it, so I may continue with it. The one thing that you'll see with these journals is like, of course, the pages are very thin and I paint a lot in them. So that's like the one factor about it, is that the pages are super thin. But that is because these journals cost like $2 to $3 each. So it makes it completely worth it and it makes sense. So I have these 3 journals here. A lot of them I went slower and I appreciate it because on average, each journal took me about 6 months to do, which is a lot slower. I used to be doing a journal a month back in like 2020, but I've learned now to just slow down a bit with my art, and I feel like it's paid off a lot, and I'll talk about it as we go on. But yeah, let's just go right into it. I have these 3 and I'll share them with you now. So here is the first one. I kind of did like a dots page. It feels really great. I love the texture of it. And you can kind of see with all of them, I just like to have a recurring theme of like primary colors. That's why I like buying these journals with the plain cover, because I get to decorate it. So yeah, this one I started it in June of 2024 and ended it in November. So June, July, August, 6 months. And yeah, these journals, I put a lot of my emotions into these journals, so sometimes these pages, they look a bit concerning. It's because I take everything out of my head and I put it into my art and into my journals. I'm good, I'm chilling, I'm great. But sometimes people ask me like, are you good? And I'm like, yeah, it's fine. I just put my stuff into my journaling and in other ways as well. So we're good. I like to just keep these journals like, some of them are great, some of them aren't, and that's fine. Like, I like to think of these journals kind of as a bit of a sketchbook, and it's just putting my art into a place, putting it out into the world. I've been trying to really just embrace who I am and embrace the art that I'm making in this moment, and just putting it out there for people to see. Because I'm someone who, the art that I make might not resonate with me at one time, but I know it matters to someone and it will matter to me in another time. Like, I'm someone who very much believes like, just put it out there and then something will come from it. But besides that, okay, I'm gonna talk more about kind of just like methods. Watercolor, gouache, always. I had a Himi gouache set and it recently molded, but I tried to get the most out of it. That's why a lot of these pages you're gonna see acrylics, gouache, watercolors, and just mixed media in general. But a lot of painting. I feel in the past year or 2, I've gotten really into painting and acrylic paint mainly, and gouache. And just a lot of pages like this where I'll start out with just some painting and then I'll see where it goes and I'll build upon it and I'll see kind of where the story takes me. I love telling stories with my art. I love just the visual aspect of connecting words and visual aspects and drawing and seeing like the story that brings. And a lot of these pages like just stem from a pattern, stem from me wanting to do something, like just wanting to paint or draw, and then with that the words usually come afterwards. So I very rarely will start with words first. The words usually come afterwards. This one here, love. I think this one's probably my favorite in this journal, just because I think it just slaps. It fits everything that I want in this time. It fits my style, it fits where I'm kind of wanting to go, and I'm wanting to work on it. I want to kind of work on figures. I want to get better at drawing people, but for now, this kind of was like, this worked. This page here, I actually made another page like this, or it might have been this one actually. Long story short, I made an art journal with me video where I just did it start to finish and I recorded it all. I edited it and everything, and then instead of uploading it or something, I just deleted it. And I don't know why, but I just deleted all the footage of it, so it was just gone. I think it might have been this one actually, or it might have been another one, but it's basically this. But it cracks me up that I filmed and edited an entire video and then I deleted it, and I just have no clue why I did that. Like, it was just not meant to go out there, I guess. It was not meant to be. But yeah, it was this style, so that's the whole point I'm trying to say, is that this style, I made a whole video about it and it never saw the light of day. But I do really like this style. I think this style kind of unleashed something in me. I made this in June, so it was like summertime last year, and you'll see a lot more pages like this as we go, kind of just like creating a world and then adding a little character to it. I've just something very like was something cooked here is all I can say. And think about around here, I kind of bought my first Caran d'Ache crayons. I bought like the 3 primary colors, and I really love these crayons. I do want to get more. They're just a bit, you know, they cost a bit, but I do enjoy using them. And here you can kind of see the fish era starting. Super into fish. Like, even here I can tell how much I've improved. If you see some of the stuff I'm kind of making now, this is like, the improvements are happening. Pages like this will happen when I'm working on a different page, a different piece somewhere else, and I have extra paint, and I'll make a page like this probably. Because I just don't like to see paint go to waste, so I'll always use it in another journal, in another page. Because who wants to waste paint? I don't. This one came after I read a Keith Haring book, got super into Keith Haring, inspired, and I was like, yeah, Keith Haring fits with my style, so like, of course I'm gonna be inspired by Keith Haring, so that's where this page came from. This one came from, I did another page with a huge brush, and it's just the extra paint that I just went with the brush across. And this one here is kind of like a mountain, and then the person there. I think I've done a lot more pages like this as well, where it's kind of just, I love drawing like landscapes, kind of like merging things together. I've been looking into it a lot more too. Like, I find it's really great to just depict kind of realism, but in abstract ways. This I made a little video on. I made a reel. It's just I went on a walk and I did a little doodle of it, and it's just to show that, you know, everything doesn't need to be that deep. Just make stuff everywhere. I made this on my birthday, I know that. And it's just me talking about Trader Joe's Scandinavian swimmers. I don't remember if I put anything in here. No. Oh, I did a little bit of writing, but that's just there. There's this journal. Okay, here is my next one. I started it in August, finished in February, so once again 6-7 months to complete it. And I think going slower really helped me, just to I feel like I just make better stuff when I go a bit slower. This came from my stamp got like jammed up, and I was getting annoyed because I was just trying to live my life and stamp, but it kept getting there was like a little piece of, I don't know the word, wire or fluff that was in it, and it was just making it look bad. So I had to like get it out, and that's where this came from. I was just trying to fix my stamp, and then a page came from it. pages like this usually come from like, I'll do maybe like one day of work and then leave it. A couple days later, I'll come back and I'll do more. And I think that method really works for me because I find that if I try and do a page all at once, it never really turns out into something I really like. But if I keep it, like I give myself a couple days and then come back to it, I'll generate new ideas and new things will come to me. I really like this page too. Yeah, you know, everything's real. Just follow it. I've been thinking a lot about how to incorporate my writing into my work because, you know, I'm a writer and I love to write, and I want to figure out how to merge things into my work because I find that I'm too nice with my writing and it's not really conveying what I want to say, because I want my art is very, you can tell my art's very like childish and colorful, and I like that, but I want to kind of have the irony of like the harder things in life and the chaos of life and merge them together. That's kind of what the goal that I'm exploring. And yeah, you know, I'm still working on it, but things like this where it kind of looks like a colorful thing but it has a very deeper meaning to it, and I'm trying to figure out how to really convey that with my writing. This came from this is a charcoal stick, and then it's just rubbed onto the other page, and I really like that effect. It's kind of like a mirror effect, and it, like, you know, they're staring at each other. But yeah, this just came from a charcoal stick, and then every time I've closed it and opened it, they've always just smudged onto each other. This was actually, I think, the first page I made in this journal. It just yeah, I just made this this was the first one that was made, if that means anything, but first page. And that's another thing too about these journals. A lot of the pages will stick together, but that's not mainly the journal's fault. It's also the paint's fault. But it's like, it's a factor in it. So if you're thinking about getting these journals, just remember that. But you can see a lot of these pages, like paint will leak through and stuff, like especially here, like the paint will leak through. And that's okay for me. Like, I'm not truly bothered by it. If it does bother me, I just cover it up. But that is a factor that happens with these books. It happens with most journals actually. Like, unless you have a really thick spine, you're usually gonna have, you know, things bleed through if you're using very heavy paints or inks, for example. You know, sometimes I leave pages unfinished or incomplete, but I think it's because for me, this page is done. I don't think I want to do any more with it. It feels complete. It feels like I got the meaning across. And sometimes I feel like I push myself to fill up a page just because it has to be really big and filled and bursting. But I've learned that, like, sometimes if a page is done and it's telling me it's done, stop. Because sometimes I'll push myself a lot and I'll just fill it up because I'm like, oh, I have to fill it up. Like, the page has to be filled for it to be good. But sometimes you don't need to. So keep that in mind sometimes. I really like this page because I had written stuff underneath and I absolutely hated it, and it made me so angry, and I wanted, because I really liked the fish, but then the words weren't there, so I covered it up and I wrote this again and I misspelled disappointment, and I was like, this page is fighting me so hard. But we got there eventually. But I feel like this one really speaks to me as sometimes you make art and you're like, this is not speaking to me at all, but some art you make and you're like, yeah, this is a 10 out of 10, it's speaking to me, it's saying everything I need to say, and I'm so happy with it. And that's art that's like, it makes you feel so fulfilled as an artist when the art speaks to you and it speaks to others and it just speaks to everyone. You're like, yes, I finally did something that people and I love. It's a good feeling. I've been doing this kind of a lot more, where I put some tape down. I use tape a lot in my work, so I try my best to reuse the tape wherever I can because I don't want to waste the tape. So sometimes I'll just put it back into my journals and I'll write on top of it. It's a great way to just like add another layer to a painting, to your journaling, to your art. And yeah, I've been doing it a lot more lately. If you follow me at all, the dots pages happen a lot. I think I just did this one to practice, just to figure things out, like to just experiment with it. But yeah, the dots pages, I do them quite often, as shown here. This one I brought my journal with me to an event, and when I'm nervous, I just scribble because it helps me to like calm down a little bit. And I just did this for like a very long time, and that's where this page came from. So yeah, if you're ever feeling nervous, just do some little bilateral drawing. And there's the last page here. And a note to myself. I find I'm very mean to myself in my notes in my journals, but only specifically my mini journals. In my daily art journal, I'm really kind to myself, but in these journals, I find that I'm like filled with a lot of self-doubt. So I don't really know what that means, but okay. And last up we have this little one. I just finished it this week, so pretty fresh, a lot of new stuff, and yeah. I think this one has the most like heavy, like just painting in it. I accidentally did this page upside down, so it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's like, why is this page like this? I just accidentally did it upside down, never bothered. It was like one of the first pages I did, and that's just how it is. I think this one I also picked up this pink acrylic paint, and I love it, and it's beautiful. It's hard to use, but I love using it. I think what you can kind of see with these pages compared to like some of my previous work is like I'm just really trying to like fit the tiny things in. And I think that's come from just working a bit slower. I have patience with it. I have time. I let it talk to me, and just like we figure out together like what we want to do next and where we want to go with a piece. Like I've truly realized I'm not the person to do a page in a day. I like to do a page in like a week. And like I'll work on multiple pages at a time. I'll go back and forth between them all, but I just love to see like how things change as it goes. This page here was the page I did for Get Messy, and it's out now. You can go and join if you want, but that's the page that I made for them, and I did a whole video and a whole class on it, on what this page is and just like the whole process of it. This one here, I really like this one. It's just a favorite of mine that I've made lately. It's nothing too like crazy or anything too deep, but I just feel like it really is how I feel about life right now and how I'm trying to be. I'm just trying to like be okay with the unknown and just go forth and fight my fears and yeah, be bold, because things could actually be good. And it's just me trying to process my thought patterns out in art form. This one's kind of hard to see in this light, but just more writing to myself. And I think I made this with a beauty blender, and I took paint and this was one of the very first ones. I was just testing out that technique, and I've been using it a lot more. But yeah, it's from a beauty blender. More fish. And I've been trying to experiment more on like how to add borders and messing with the border, of course. Like I kind of have a background in comics and reading comics, making comics in graphic forms, and I like kind of like just messing with like the limitations and the restrictions of things like that, and how we can just, you know, mess around with graphic forms more. I do want to study more into that and see, because graphic forms comics, it's mixing visual aspects with words and writing, and that's what I'm wanting to learn. This page here was a give up page. I think the next one is too. Yep, these two here. There are pages where you can give up. You can quit on them. It's okay. I know every page feels like it needs to be perfect. Every page you want to help it and fix it and finish it. Sometimes it's okay to just not. It's okay to give up on a page, and I'm okay with that. You can completely see it. You can see it all you want. This is a page where I just didn't like it anymore, and I was over it, and I didn't want to do it anymore. Same with this one here. I had started using some like sand texture paint, and I had some extra, so I put it in here, and it did not fit in this journal at all. It was like, it's very hard and rough to use on this paper, so it just wasn't working, and that's okay. And yeah, I just don't like it, and that's fine. We move on, we continue with life. It's okay. Because look, just after that, the next page over is a page that I actually really like. So don't worry about pages that are hard or pages that are rough. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, I love this page. Great. This is probably one of the last pages I made in this one. Just came back to it and I finished it, but I had started with something underneath and I hated it, so I put a piece of paper on top because that's just the easiest way for me to cover things up. And I just continued and I kept going with it, and yeah, it turned out lovely. Same thing with this one. This was a cover-up page. You can see here I kind of had to deal with the star a little bit because I had done writing here and the writing sucked. So sometimes I don't really plan out what I'm gonna write and I just go right into it, and that backfires because I end up writing things that I don't want and it ruins the page. So I just cover it up and I try again, but you can tell here this was definitely a cover-up. This one here is also a favorite. I love how this one turned out. This one here is giving Severance. We're all in it. We're all into it right now. But yeah, I was literally watching Severance and I was like, yeah. If you know, you know. Self-explanatory. This one here is really fun. It kind of just reminds me of like, you know, like a game board and kind of like playing like the game of life type of thing. More painting, acrylics, and I use like a scraping tool to kind of do the writing and stuff. More figures. I'm definitely gonna try practicing more figures. I want to have more because I feel like my figures are kind of just doing the same pose every time, but which is okay, but I want to add more. I want them to do different things, just do more, and that will come. I just gotta practice it. Give me motivation to practice. This was some writing, and I made a painting to accompany the writing. This in here, the last page, you know what this is. I do feel like I want to change this up, though. I think, like, I want to figure out a better way to do this. I want just the black letters, and I think I'm going to use my Cricut to kind of cut it up, cut out the black letters, and then I'll redo it. But for now, it's like a placeholder. I'll get back to it eventually, but you already know. That's that. There you go. So there was my 3 journals. I hope you enjoyed this lovely little tour that I gave. I hope it gives you inspiration to make stuff in your journals and to remember that not every page you make is going to be amazing, but every page, it's going to matter in some way. So don't have fear on making pages. Don't feel like everything has to be perfect because it never will be, and that is completely okay. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.